Hi, Joe Manausa here with another Tallahassee real estate market update. Before we get to the update though, recently I received a comment from a viewer who said I needed a haircut, so I went ahead and took care of that. There, I hope you'll like it better now, Tony. In today's report, we're going to be looking at the median home in Tallahassee, and we're going to be exploring exactly why home prices and home values are going high so fast. Our first graph takes a look at median home price in Tallahassee. We see the median new home price is plotted in blue, the median existing home price is plotted in red, and the gray line is the combination of both, so the entire residential market. The first thing that strikes me is that the builders have been trying to keep the median price of new homes under $300,000, and we can see that the blue bar has pretty much stayed fairly stable over the last 7 years. But take a look at the red bars because they are soaring. So just how fast is the median home price rising? Well, last year, the median home price rose a full 7%. Year to date, through almost the end of May, the median home price is already up 7%. How's that for some perspective on how fast prices are rising? Just as we saw with prices, the median home value is on the rise as well. How fast is it rising? Well, in 2018, the median home value rose 5%. In 2019, 4%. Already in 2020, and we're not even into June, the median home value is up 5%. Even though there's a pandemic, home values are rising fast, and it's a seller's market. If you have been thinking about moving, give us a call. We'll show you how we can get you top dollar for your home. A word of warning though for luxury homeowners. Right now the market is super hot because mortgage interest rates have reached incredibly low levels. The warning comes is if mortgage interest rates rise, and we really don't see that happening anytime soon, but if they rise, every percentage they go up brings a much larger percentage of the number of buyers downwards. Right now, the luxury buyer is motivated by low mortgage interest rates, and you ought to sell if you had been planning on selling. When we look at the median home size in Tallahassee, we see that new construction has been getting smaller for the past 7 years. Today, it's about 11% larger than the existing homes in the market. We track the median home size in order to see the difference between the median home price, which is what buyers are spending, and the median home value, and that's what sellers are receiving. And right now what we're seeing is that buyers are able to spend more money, and most of that money is going to the sellers. They're not buying larger homes. Our next graph shows something a little different than the previous three. This one combines the properties by type. So the red line shows single-family detached homes, the blue line shows townhouses, and the dashed blue line shows condominiums. And what we're looking at in this first graph is the median home prices. The median single-family detached home price has hit $250,000. That's already up 4% over last year's median, and if we keep going up at this rate, we'll see it go over $260,000 for the year. That is significantly higher than what we've seen in the past. We're seeing something completely different in the townhouse market. I believe it has to do with all of the student properties that have been built near campus, and many of the student tenants are moving from townhouses to apartment complexes over by the schools. As single-family detached home prices continue higher, many younger buyers are not going to be able to afford them, and we're going to see them shift to the townhouse market. So yeah, townhouse prices this year are down 2%, but you should expect to see them rebound and start moving much higher and following the single-family detached homes market. I include condominiums in this report, but in reality, the information is just too volatile to have any value. We've got traditional condominiums in Tallahassee that are very much like townhouses. We have a relatively new market that started just after 2000 of the high-rise condos downtown. And then we have condominium developments in Northeast Tallahassee that look and feel a whole lot like single-family detached homes, but they are actually condominiums. So there's not a whole lot of condominium sales to begin with. And now that we have three very different types of condominiums in the market, we're going to see a lot of volatility in the movement of prices. To put this into perspective, we saw the median condominium price rose 16% in 2018. Then it dropped 11% in 2018, and then it rose 17% in 2019. Thus far in 2020, it's down 3%. So again, a lot of volatility and not a lot of useful information. We have to dig deeper when we look into condominium sales. Our next graph is organized like the previous one, except we're looking at the median home value. The primary thing I want you to take away from this graph is the red line, and it's soaring. The median home value is up 45% since the bottom of the market in 2012. That's an annual appreciation rate of over 5%. Traditionally, we see our properties appreciate at about 3.15%, so this is significantly higher than what we've seen in the past. Hey, before we move on, could you please do me a favor and help me support this channel? Tell YouTube that this is a video worth watching. Click on the like button, subscribe to our channel, click on the bell notification so you know every time we post a new video. Thank you. The reason we study the median home in Tallahassee so closely is that it gives us our best feel for what property values are doing. And if we look at the median right now, we see that it is moving high fast. A lot of people have asked me, hey, do you see something happening like we saw back in 2006 when the market collapsed and prices dropped? And my simple answer is no, I don't see it. Back in 2006, we had overbuilt the market. We had tons of supply and builders were building even more. Most of the demand back then, which was much higher than today's demand, was based on people investing in flipping new construction and new properties and renovated properties. Today, our demand is very organic. It is people buying homes to live in them. And we're not seeing the crazy high numbers that we saw back in 05 and 06. So do I see the market collapsing? Absolutely not, but I still see a big problem. We have not enough homes. That's the opposite of what happened in 2006. So we're not looking at a bubble, but instead we're seeing the opposite problem. We need to be bracing for hyperinflation. Right now, we cannot build homes at the prices that buyers are trying to buy them at. So we're seeing existing home sales go up in value and going up in value fast because there's no competition from new construction. Construction costs are moving higher. When we look back to all the homes that were built in 04 through 06, we have to realize minimum wage has gone up 55% since those homes were built. And on top of that, all the homes built since that time have pretty much been built on residential lots that were developed for the housing boom. And most of those lots were foreclosed upon multiple times. And that means today's builders have been building on lots that they paid pennies on the dollar. These lots were bought cheap. Future lots are not going to be cheap. They need to be developed. And those costs are very high in Leon County. So what we're going to see is labor and sticks and bricks and mortar and everything involved in the construction process are significantly higher than 15 years ago. And now land is going to start to go up much higher too. So future construction costs are only going to be higher than current construction costs. So builders are not going to be able to replicate the inventory that we have now. Existing homes are going to appreciate, and they're going to appreciate much faster than what we've seen in the past. What buyers can do is lock into a home now with low mortgage interest rates. Sellers, if you need to sell and buy, you really need to be thinking like a buyer. Sell your house, you'll get top dollar if it's marketed correctly, and get into the home you want to be in before prices run away. If you're selling and then moving to a situation where you're not buying, you're not in any hurry to sell because home values are only going to go higher. Of course, the luxury end of the market's a little bit different. We have plenty of supply in the luxury end, and if mortgage interest rates eventually return to higher numbers, we're going to see the demand on luxury homes decline. So luxury home sellers should sell while the fire's hot. So what's my advice? My advice is to stay safe, but don't let the pandemic change your moving plans. If you don't want to move, don't move. But don't choose to wait because of the pandemic. If you do, you're looking at a high likelihood of much higher prices and a much higher mortgage interest payment on top of that.